And, you know, like as a YouTuber, and it's something we don't really talk about a lot because talking about being a YouTuber, I don't know, it just sounds weird to
Yeah.
me. But
Oh, my
whenever,
life is so hard. Yeah.
yeah, it's not that it's hard. It's just it is confusing, and it is like it. I can't think of a more PC way to say it, but it messes with your mind. Like whenever your life is the show, sometimes then you think, well, like, did I only think that funny thing because I thought it would be funny for the camera, or did Greg just really think of that on his own? So sometimes then you get it, then you start doubting yourself of your own thoughts. And I think that's whenever we started realizing that it's like, okay, well, we just need to take back off just a little bit. That way we, as Greg and Hillary, know who we are and can hopefully even do a better job presenting Mexico and our life and our travels on YouTube.
Yeah. I think when we first started daily, I think I was working full time for my job for almost the first year. And then I thought, okay, well, now that I'm no longer working at this job, then, you know, it'll be so much easier to film daily. But what happened is then we could start traveling full time, which actually made it
harder,
even more exhausting because we wanted to film and we were in a different hotel every 3 nights for months and months. And I feel like that is when I feel like it started to take a toll on us because we would wake up exhausted and be in a brand new city and want to bring energy and excitement to our videos, but then behind the scenes almost just feeling so exhausted and almost in a way guilty that we weren't our freshest, if that makes sense. So over 8 months of full-term travel in a different room in a different bed every 3 nights, I think that definitely or we just weren't good. We weren't our good bosses. We didn't take good care of ourselves. We would wake up sick, but feel as if we had an obligation to film daily because this is what we do. We make a video every day and we work hard. And so we would wake up feeling sick, but then and still sort of push through and power through those days. And I feel like that's great. And that we agree still, there are times that we need to push through or power through or stay up late or wake up early. But I think not drawing any boundaries over a period of only 8 months, which really isn't that long, I think those sort of things started to kind of, snowball.
I think that's very important to mention. And it's probably like great advice for anyone who is starting a YouTube channel or like trying to follow that path, because as you say, it can kind of sneak up on you. You can think oh, like I'm living the dream. Like this is so much fun. I'm building an audience. I'm connecting with people. But then you realize like literally like every free moment of every day, you're just like editing videos or like responding to comments, or it can definitely take a lot of time. I personally, I pretty much stopped filming transit days like in airports and stuff because I find it's already not super stressful, but it's always a bit challenging. Like when you're moving around with your bags and like getting on airplanes and stuff. I used to try and film every minute of it, but now I'm just like, no, I just want to like relax a bit on those days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's always being, I mean, you know, being a YouTuber yourself, there's no set playbook. So sometimes in my mind that just messes with me because it's like, well, if we did do this, we could, you know, grow our channel, get more subscribers, get more views on this video.
Everything is content, right? Every moment. Oh, this could be a video. This could be a video.
You're always thinking about how could you do more? At least I feel like that's what we still struggle with that every day. Is like, well, we could be working on this, or we could be thinking about this other project, or you can constantly be doing more. I think that's true in any like entrepreneurial type work.
And I will say, just to maybe close off that thought, is one thing we've done now that has helped us do better, I think, is we're trying to do things off camera, like intentionally, like, okay, we're not going to film today, but we're going to go do something. And I think that helps us feel normal, I guess, or helps us feel like, okay, we're going on an adventure, we're traveling, because that's when we are at our best. That's when Greg and Hillary are at our best. But to do that off camera lately has been very refreshing for us. So just for anybody watching, maybe who's kind of at that point or who gets to that point, I think that's one way. That's just something that's helped us kind of reset our equilibrium, balance.
I think that's a very important point to make, especially in a year like 2020 when things, you know, mental health is important. It's important to be checking in on yourself and making sure everyone is just, you know, finding time to enjoy the ride instead of just being carried away by everything happening.
Exactly.
Hillary, you were talking about work, and we don't have to get deep into this if you don't want to, but I remember kind of when you made the shift from your full-time job and then you left that job and Kinetic Kennons became the full-time thing.
Yeah.
Was that a difficult decision? Was that like exciting? Was it like hard? You know, there's a lot of emotions with a decision like that, right?
Yeah. So actually, it wasn't, I would say it was not hard. It wasn't a difficult decision, but the decision was taken out of my hands. I had no control. My job basically called and told me, you have 30 days to come back and work in our Dallas office or you're fired.
Wow.
And I can distinctly remember the day and having the phone call and thinking, there's no way I'm going. I don't feel like going back to Dallas ever even was an option. Like at this point, we have a life here. I can't, I didn't feel it was fair at the time to just say, pick up your
stuff in 30 days.
Pick up your life and move in 30 days. So I don't feel like actually making the decision to stay was hard at all or difficult. I feel like I walked out of the room bawling hysterically and I'm like, well, I guess like I don't have a job anymore. But the decision, I feel like before I even got off the phone, had been made. I feel like the terrifying part after that was taking this huge leap financially, if you will. I had this somewhat secure, or what I thought was secure, right? Salaried job as a CPA, going from that to an income that fluctuates each month based on patronage and income revenue, YouTube revenue and things like that, ad revenue. And taking that leap, I mean, I'm a numbers cruncher, right? That's my jam. So I remember looking on spreadsheets and like, okay, if we spend this much this month and this much this month, we can eat peanut butter every day. And what's the minimum on? And like, I stressed myself out financially, just not knowing, because the decision was taken out of my hands, not knowing, I don't know, like, are we going to sink or swim? I don't know, but we're going to try.
Wow. Yeah, it's when you mentioned peanut butter, I just remembered, don't you have a video at Costco with like peanut butter jars?
That might have been one of our first videos to actually like, I think at the time it got like 80,000 views or something, which is still a lot of those.
It's one of our most viewed videos, which I don't know whether to be proud or ashamed of.
Isn't it crazy, the ones that jump up? Like you can spend like a month making the perfect video, then no one sees it. And then you like hold up peanut butter at Costco. It's like 1 million views.